Okay, thank you very much for joining us. This is Gianluigi, as usual, from the FilmAmo.it platform. We're gonna publish this interview on our blog, and thank you to Director Gabriel Alvim for joining us in this interview, and the main actors who participated to this movie, who was awarded as the winner at the Not Film Festival in Sant'Arcangelo di Romagna. Now I'm gonna ask you guys the same questions that I asked the director, but of course from your point of view, from your end. So again, the film characters deal with societal changes, toxic relationships, and a lot of elements that features your film, your movie. So what aspect of the script resonated with you on a personal level? Who wants to reply first?
Maybe I should, because I feel when I read this question, I immediately knew the answer, because what resonates with me and Lara at a first point is that she's a foreigner in São Paulo, as me myself I was at the time of the film. At the time of the film, I was 1.5 years living in São Paulo, so I was like this weird kind of girl, and Lara is the same thing. She's brought with Fabi. She knew BFF. She knew a short time ago to São Paulo to meet her people, and I immediately began approaching Lara with this similarity, that we were from another place than not the Rio São Paulo axis, and we from another different region, we feel like foreigners, aliens maybe. And I think this reflects on her, on my acting, because she's a little mute. She speaks little to them, and she sees them a lot. So I guess it was the first thing that connected me with her.
Thank you very much. In the meantime, Diego is being connected, and we welcome him. Hi, Diego.
Hi.
Very nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us. We are now we are being recorded, we are live, and I've already started asking the first question to Rafa, who gave her first reply. The second question, and the question is open, so any of you can reply, even more than one reply. So it's going to be a creative brainstorming session. Working with the director Gabriel Alvim, who values, of course, your roles, knows you very well. Did it provide a sense of comfort? Was it more a challenge or an opportunity? Did it, how can I say, emphasize your values, or did it, how can I say, influence you or bias you in any way? So what is your personal angle on this?
Do you mean the theme of the movie and the personal life?
Yeah, basically working with you as a director who already knows each of your actors very well. If in some ways condition was a bias, was putting this actor in a sort of comfort zone, or the contrary, in a discomfort zone. So it's basically interesting for me to understand how the main characters are viewing this point.
Yeah, I think they can answer, but first I think I have to make a compliment, because I didn't knew everyone before the movie.
Okay.
So I was I am and I was a close friend from Diego and Andre, and we had Pedro Lopes, that it was like a cast techniques and all the stuffs, and he helped us to find some people. We knew Natália and some of her work, but Rafa and Luana, we never had worked together. So well, I think they can say better, but I think we build this relation during the rehearsals. Alguém quer dizer?
Sorry,
Please, André,
I was
come
having
on.
no, I was having some trouble with my audio here, but it's okay. I can hear you. Well, I could say that Gabriel is amazing director to work with the actors, because he always let us to create together and to feel free and feel confidence to to find our feelings and to propose new things on the scenes. And it was very and everything was very pleasure, with pleasure. Nothing was like nobody was suffering or hurting each other. We are like playing acting, like you say in Italy, gioco. It was a
Yeah,
joke.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we love it. It was very nice. But at the same time, como eu falo, provocar,
Provocation.
Yeah.
at the same time, he could provoke us to find something different, because many of the scenes we improvise a lot.
Excellent. I remember because, a couple of years ago, I had the privilege of interviewing Costa Gavras, the big monumental director who is still living. I think he's 90 years of age. And he was at the Locarno Festival movie. And he said on the very last questions of the interview that a movie director is like an orchestra director, and every actor is like a different instrument. There are hitting instruments, there are drums, there are guitars, there are piano, there are flutes. So I found this analogy very, very appropriate. So I think what you are now, what you just did, Andre, to Gabriel is a big compliment, because basically it's a question of sensibility and knowing the chords of each of you that brought the best out of you.
Yes.
Yeah. The other question relates to the cultural landscape in Brazil. So for Never Alone.
I would like just Jan to say, in my opinion, Gabriel was very smart on the process with the actors, because was very important the female voices in the script. So he was very smart to give us this opportunity for put our words in the script, and Natália and Rafaella and Luana was very, very, very they have more how can I say, camadas?
Layers.
Yeah.
In the history. And Pedro Lopes, he worked a lot with Fátima Toledo. Fátima Toledo, she prepares the actors from City of the Gods, Square, Tropa de Elite, I think Square Elite, the first Pichote, and Pedro Lopes and Gabriel, they created a kind of dialogue and was very beautiful, because Gabriel very times gave Pedro the spotlight to be more in the good sense aggressive in the process, and Gabriel was only watch and writing with in the pen and the paper. Oh, this is nice, this is not nice. And the actors are very free, like a jazz band. And in my opinion, example, André, he is the vocal band. He's very fun, he's very beautiful, he's very Rafa, she's very good on the bass. I and a little drum. And in my opinion, we can play like jazz with improvisation, but silence tools.
Exactly. To play jazz, you need to be a very, very skilled musician. So you cannot improvise without having studied and knowing very, very deeply the nature of your instrument, of your music.
Yes,
I will
as-
have to
as-
skip
as
some
they-
questions because time is
Okay.
but please, Gabriel, you feel free to talk.
No, I would say just that as they are so skilled in their roles, of course we had a guideline, but assuring the guideline, I knew that I would be able to make the movie during editing. So I still have a little control on what will be on screen or not, but we have a very, very, very fresh filming and performance.
Excellent, excellent. I will have to skip a couple of questions, but I'm very happy because those improvising elements these impromptu elements are absolutely essential and make our interview more lively, more real and true. And now, just coming back to the my original script, so it was the original question. Working with Gabriel Alvim and the film's teams, did you find any parallels between your own life and the life portrayed in the movie?
Yes, of course. And I love this process because Gabriel and all of us loves a lot John Cassavetes process. And Cassavetes, he told in an interview, if you shot a movie and you don't suffer when you see the movie, because the movie will show one thing who you don't like about you, and it's like a mirror. And I could see this white bubble in Brazil, because in my opinion, the courage about this project is the dramas of these persons who is white and who live more dramas, European dramas than dramas in account for the third world.
Okay.
And was very crazy to watch me performing in and it is not superficial, this, because the life is true. I want a most beautiful girl. I want married with a girl who have more money, and she can help me because here in Brazil the economic crisis is incredible. So in my opinion, was very real, this. And when I watched the movie, I say yes, it is true. We are toxic.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I love this script because don't have afraid to say.
It's a middle class. It's a middle class story. So Brazil is not interested in this theme. He's saying Brazil is more interested like in favela themes, those kind of elite squad movies that are a lot of violence, a lot of hungry. And our movie is about toxic relationships in the middle class. So it was completely set away in Brazil because the thing was not so tasty for the Brazilian that are so used to like the big budget movies that talk about and the small budget movies that talk about misery, hungry, and everything. Yeah. And I would say the Cassavetes thing as well, because the first thing that Gabriel told us, I guess, go watch Shadows or Faces. And then we came to the rehearsal and to the set with that sense of, for sure, I mean, that sense of we need to be spontaneous, we need to be present, we need to be for the game and to improvise a lot. So we knew that his approach would go that way by the Cassavetes reference, which was the most important.
Thank you for that observation, very keen observation, Rafa, because one of the topics we touched with Gabriel in our previous interview was also that of the, in brackets, soft power. You know, I'm the eldest guy in the room, and at my time, at my age, when I was a kid in Locarno, that's why I developed this passion for cinema, because I was a very young kid in the 60s, and we did not have social media, but once every year I could watch actors, directors, cinema for a couple of weeks, and it was a dream. You can imagine, black and white TV, completely isolated from the world. And those days, the nature of the movies was soft American power, happy ending, heroes, you know, all the themes that you know very, very well. And also there was a growing interest for directors such as, you know, Pasolini, Elio Petri, Risi, who were just watching the reality from a different angle. So Italy those days was a poor country, but with dreams of becoming rich and better. This leads now to my next question, which is, are themes, subjects such as patriarchy and woke also perceived in the same way in Brazil as they are in Europe or United States? I mean, what is, if there is any polarization or divisive contrast on these subjects?
Well, a complex question. I think I can say some things about, and I don't know, but I believe that those things are really welcome when you imported those things to your culture, but we have to also know our own culture to bring those values. So it's not just bring something and put it here. You have to evaluate, you have to balance. And well, I really think that this is important from the United States, is something stronger there. And as I said in our interview, I think the Brazilian people are really close to the United American more than the German or the French people or the English. So it's natural that those values came here. But well, Coutinho.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because, you know, every shot, every work that you do is just a snapshot of society, and the quality is very well reflected by the quality of your script, of your actors, of your team. Now, I'm very sorry, but the time, unfortunately, is a tyrant, is always against us. But when can we see you in Italy, all together, possibly?
Hey guys, when we are going to Italy?
As soon as possible.
I hope soon.
I think FilmAmo could invite us for a premiere in Italy, huh?
It would be nice.
Okay, you'll be always welcome, and you know.
Jen could raise some little money, and we're gonna do another movie in Italy.
Okay.
We all together.
Okay, I think I believe this is going to be Lucas and also my task to carry out, because we are more business wise led rather than other directions. It's a possibility, of course. I know that Lucas got a lot of connections. I work in an industry which has nothing to do with movies, but you know, it helps. It helps because you get connections. Everybody knows everyone, and you know. Last question, and then we have to unfortunately terminate the video because we just have a few minutes. And how is now the response in Brazil of your movie? Do you have any statistics, any figures to share?
Well, first, it was kind of a joke, and I think Rafa maybe can go to Italy first because she's closer. But well,
Yeah.
about the movie, now we are, as I said, we are hoping that the international distribution help us with some negotiations here. Right on this day, I just received a message from a national company to interest in the movie. So let's see what we can do. We are discussing also a screening for close friends and things. So maybe we can share with you some of the pictures.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, feel free to share any thoughts. Let's be creative. Let's be hungry. So do not. You're not gonna be shy. You're not shy people. I'm not a shy guy. So basically, we can very easily be at a disposal to develop projects. Guys, thank you very much again for your time. It was a great pleasure from my side. And of course, this video will be published in a due course on our website. Thank you again. Molto obrigado. And
Grazie, grazie
see you
mille.
soon. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Luigi. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Grazie.